Welcome to our webinar today on leverage through leadership. I'm Karen Brooke and I'm very pleased to have you here with me today, studying this important topic of really how to leverage yourself through more effective leadership. It is so true, the quote that is on your screen right now, impossible is just a dare. I really want you to lean into this idea as we work together today and really take those dreams and goals that might seem like an impossibility for you right now and dare yourself to turn them into reality. Dare yourself to turn those impossible goals into reality. And I'm going to give you the tools and the strategies today, the questions that you need to think about in order to be able to do that. So let's get straight into it today. You're in the right place if you want to earn more, become more productive, and live your best life. Can you say yes to that question? You want to leverage yourself and your leadership for a quantum leap in results. Now, what am I talking about when I talk about a quantum leap? I'm talking about skipping levels on that leadership ladder. I'm talking about dramatically improving your performance, going from one level to a level many rungs higher in one sweeping move. If you have the desire to do that, then I'm going to show you how. You do want to surround yourself with other high achievers, other people who are also achieving excellence and who are committing to really bringing about even better results. And you have a big worthy goal. If you've answered yes to any or all of those questions, then you're definitely in the right place today. Even if right now you don't seem to have enough time to do the things that you want to do. Now, that's a problem for a lot of leaders. You might have some financial freedom, but you don't necessarily have the time to enjoy it. Maybe you have these business goals and dreams and big visions that you want to fulfill, but you really don't feel like you have time to focus on the most important activities in your day. Even if you feel embarrassed that you're in the same position that you were 12 months ago, that's okay. Even if you have tried in the past and failed at accomplishing some of your goals, I'm here today to tell you that you ought to be able to create an extraordinary life and live your best life, and you can. But there is always a but, isn't there? But it's going to require a shift in your thinking. The ways of the past, the thoughts and actions that have got you to where you are today is not going to take you to where you really want to go, where you know you can go. Like you, I have tried in the past and failed. I understand how that feels. I understand how it feels to be at the top of your game and still feel stuck or like you've plateaued in your results. Like you, I've been frustrated by past results because I knew I could be doing better and I just didn't understand how to break through. Like you, I felt stuck and I haven't been sure what to do next. When I started to study and work very closely with Bob Proctor, everything changed for me. He was able to draw out from within me all of the talent, the potential, the knowledge that I had gained through all of my various studies and experience of running a company, and help me to go to that next level. And some of what he's taught me today, I'm going to be introducing you and going deeper with that today through the lens of leadership. Really leveraging yourself through more effective leadership of your own self and other people so you can create those breakthroughs, so you can create those quantum leaps and turn those wildest dreams, those impossible goals into your new reality so that you can live your best life and enjoy the ride. It shouldn't be a struggle. It shouldn't be difficult for you to create what you want. It should be effortless and easy, and I'm going to show you how. So that's what I'm here to help you do. I'm going to help you become the best version of you. You can have what you want, you can scale your results, and you can live your best life, and you can enjoy the ride while you're doing it. And in order to do this, you're going to leverage yourself through leadership. So what does this really look like? Let's dig into this a little bit deeper and really look at what this looks like. So you're going to need to leverage your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions in a new way. So it's habit for you to operate the way you're operating at the moment. It's habit for you to think, feel, and act in a certain way. Those three elements of your personality, of how you operate, are producing the results that you're getting right now. In terms of your company or organization, there is a status quo way that you think, that you feel or respond to certain situations, and the actions that you take. So you're going to continue to get those same results until you make a change. You really need to leverage your thoughts, feelings, and actions to an entirely new level. You need to understand how to get work done through people. If you want to leverage your results, really scale and go to that next level, you really need to understand, not just know, really understand the practical application of what it looks like to get great work done through people. People are your greatest asset. And if you want to leverage yourself, get better results, scale your life, your business life and career, it's going to be essential that you understand how to get work done through people. You need to be able to balance the spirit and mechanism of the goal within yourself and others. This is really important, and it's a really important function of leadership. You need to be able to balance the spirit. What am I talking about when I talk about spirit? I'm talking about entering into the feeling, into the state of mind of that wish already fulfilled, of the vision, of the goal, of what it is that you desire to create, and be able to live there, be able to think, feel, and act from there. But at the same time, balancing the mechanism, the how to get it done, the results that you're creating. You need to be able to balance that within yourself, that you can hold both what it is that I want and moving towards it, but also within others, your team, your clients, your community, and help them do the same. That is going to be critical to your success in leveraging, in scaling, in improving what you do, is being able to balance the spirit and mechanism. I want you to understand that the creative principle for everything is within. It all starts on the inside, and the outside only exhibits what the inside creates. Except your mind and you are so programmed at the moment to focus on the mechanism, focus on the mechanical, focus on the how, focus on the results, and then you react or respond to those results, and then you actually inevitably trigger more of the same. This is the key function of leadership, in being able to balance spirit, being where you want to be, thinking, acting, and feeling from that state, whilst managing and overseeing and executing the mechanism that will take you there. And we can't let anyone get to any great extreme. If we're too much in spirit, we won't get it done. If we're too much in present results, then we'll never accomplish the goal, because we're reacting from more of the same. So you need to be able to do this within yourself, but also other people. You need to be able to help them balance spirit and mechanism. You must surround yourself with like-minded people at the same level as you. This is so important. You want to think about the 5 people that you spend a lot of time with. Who are they? What do they do? What are they earning? Where are they going? What kind of goals do they have? And you want to make certain that you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people at the same level as you, who are also moving in bigger directions. In fact, surround yourself with people who are getting better results than you're getting. And that's how you will grow into such an extraordinary human being, creating such massive results, because you're surrounding yourself with high achievers. This is so important. It can sometimes feel like a very lonely road at the top. You don't have a lot of people to turn to and talk to. When you have a very close inner circle, a group of people around you that you can study and work with and mastermind with, well, it changes everything. It's peer-to-peer support where you can share ideas and resources and tools and really close the gap between where you are and where you want to be in such a short period of time. In fact, you literally collapse time. when you surround yourself with like-minded people who are at the same level as you, who are thinking in the same dimension as you. Remember that your thoughts are energy. So as you think a thought, you're literally sending out that energy, that vibration out into the universe. Now imagine if you're in an environment, if you're with a group of people who are all thinking in quantum leaps, who are achieving high 6, 7, 8-figure results in their companies, who are growing, who are scaling, who are mobilizing human resources and potential within the organization. And to be able to work with a group of people like that, you will astound yourself with what you can create just by tapping into that energy and that vibration. You need to be able to make a paradigm shift. Now, we're not going to spend too much time today talking about what is a paradigm and how a paradigm is formed and how you change a paradigm. But mark my words, if you couldn't stand up in front of a crowd and give a good 10, 15-minute presentation on paradigms, then you literally have no idea right now how much influence paradigms are having not only on your own self, your company, and your results. A paradigm is a mental program. It conditions you to operate in a certain way. A paradigm is formed in your subconscious mind, and your paradigm controls virtually every area of your life and of your business. It controls your ability to earn money, your sales. It controls your use of time. It controls your relationships, the type of clients you attract and keep and grow. It controls your productivity and effectiveness. I mean, right now, you know that you could be more effective with your day. You know that there are areas that you could close those knowing doing gaps, and it would probably have a dramatically positive impact on the bottom line of your business. But the paradigm conditions you to operate in a certain way. Your paradigm also controls your logic, what you see as logical for you to accomplish. If you've been setting incremental goals, 10%, 20%, 30% better results across the bottom line of your financial statement or along your human resources and your productivity, then you want to really start to understand that you are capable of a quantum leap. And that logical way of looking at yourself needs to go out the window, because you really can, right now at this moment, without gathering any more information, probably be doing at least 10 times better than you're doing. Now, I just want you to mentally think about that for a moment. What would 10 times better look like for you right now? Just multiply your last 12 months income by 10. Multiply your company revenue by 10. Multiply your personal income by 10. Multiply the size of your company or business by 10. How many more clients would that mean you're servicing? How many more employees would that mean you'd be able to help and create a better life for, from them working with you in your company? Really think about that. That's the truth of this. Now, I'm not saying you're going to want to set that as your goal or move towards that target, but that is what you're capable of. And you need to start to accept that and accept that truth. And if you get an idea of something that seems like a fantasy or a goal, don't reject it. How often do you reject the good ideas that your mind is giving you? Those good ideas that you're intuitively tuned into, and you reject it because you think, well, I can't do that right now, or we're not there yet, or we don't have the time, or we don't have the money. Just accept it. Say, I accept that idea, and so it is. Like, that is going to really start to get you to make a paradigm shift. Everything comes back to decision. And unless you're able to make a paradigm shift and really understand what that is and be able to do that within yourself and then leverage it through your organization, the people around you, you're not going to get any better results than what you're already getting. This is where it's so important to not only understand this for you, but actually understand it for everybody that you come in contact with. So I want you to take a moment now, get out your journals, your notepad and pen, and just think about what it is that you really want. Think about that greatest, best version of you. What do you really want? And as you think about this desire that's bubbling up to the surface right now, this fantasy, dream or goal, this vision that you've had for your business that you've sort of pushed to the side too often, I want you to just accept it and name it and claim it. And know that the only prerequisite to making a decision is, do you really want it? That's it. You don't need to know how. You don't need to know where the resources are going to come from. Like Bob Proctor always says, if they need to come from China to help you, they probably will. You don't need to know any of that. What you need to do is make a decision. You need to make a decision around what it is that you want. Always be thinking in terms of what it is that you want. Always be thinking in terms of the present tense. Don't think of your goal as something that's going to happen way out there in the future. Think of it like it's already happened. And notice how good that makes you feel. Probably a little bit scary at the same time, really thinking about that. But that's how your mind takes and works with it. If we're always looking at present results and measuring what we think we can do based on present results, we're only ever going to get a little bit better. And you're never, ever going to unlock and untap and bring to the surface the true potential and gifts of the people within your organization. Set a big goal. Go after something that you really want. Go after something that no one has any idea however that's going to happen. In fact, go after a goal that people, when you say it, they look at you like you've fallen out of a tree. That's where the magic is going to happen. That's when you're really going to astound yourself with what you can create. Let's remember what a goal is. The true purpose of a goal is actually growth. It's to draw out something from within you that you didn't even know was there. Your goal is a picture that you're going to focus on, that you're going to bring order within your mind through this picture. And whatever is going on in the mind will be expressed to and through the physical body, and it'll show up in results. So if you're moving to a picture of something that's just a little mediocre, or I've done it before, or we achieved that result last quarter, you're not going to get anything better than what you're already doing. You might think that you can improve productivity or effectiveness or your sales with a goal like that, but I'm telling you, you won't. And if you do, it most certainly won't be permanent. You'll go straight back to that old result. But a C-type goal, a fantasy goal, what you really want, think about it. They look at me like a falling out of a tree kind of goal. That goal is going to make the magic happen in your business. That is where you're really going to be able to go to that next level. And you're going to uncover things about yourself and your business and your team that you never even dreamt of. And you really will make magic happen. So what is it that you really want? Make a committed decision right now on today's call that you're going to turn it into reality. You're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to grow into the person that would naturally create such a result, that you are going to become an exceptional leader who just continues to grow and get better results. The other thing that you want to remember about this is that there is an infinite level of states of consciousness that exist in the universe. So what does this mean for you? It means that there's no end to what you can create. As long as you keep growing and investing in you and investing in your mind, and you keep working productively and effectively in a new and different way, there is no end to the kind of results that you can create. Because there is an infinite level of states of consciousness that you can take up residency in, that means that no goal is impossible to you. See what I mean? Impossible is just a dare. I dare you. I dare you to turn that goal, that dream, that desire into your new reality. So let's move on now and have another look at leadership and what leadership really is. Leadership is about providing direction, protection, and order. Think about these three areas. We could define leadership in a million different ways, but this is just a really simple way of looking at, to be an effective leader, to really draw out the best from within yourself and other people: direction, protection, and order. Leadership is taking action in service of the purpose or the goal of the organization. Leadership is not necessarily a personal quality. Leadership is about taking action. It's moving into action and creating the good that you desire. It's helping other people to be able to move into action and create the good that they desire. It is about providing direction, protection, and order. And if you don't have this yourself, then you can't give it to anyone else. You've got to fill up your own cup first. Really think about this. You got to know where you're going. You've got to have a clearly defined goal and be able to provide that direction, not only to yourself in how you make decisions and how you show up every day and make every single day count, but you've also got to be able to give that clear direction to your team, to your community, to your staff, and give them that direction and help them have direction in their roles and the purpose and function of their roles so they can perform at their best. You must be able to protect. So what do we mean by protection? As a leader of a company with employees, your employees look to you for protection. You're asking them to work from role to serve a function within that organization that contributes to the greater business or organizational goal. You're asking them to show up every day and work to role and make the necessary decisions and actions that are required from that role. You need to protect them in doing that. They need to know that you've got their back. The buck stops with you. At the end of the day, it's your responsibility, that company. Now, remember this, you're not responsible for that person or how they feel or the kind of results that they're creating, but you're responsible to them, to give them the tools, to give them the resources, to give them the opportunity, to help them understand how to adapt to change, how to make a paradigm shift. And if you don't understand that and you're not doing it for yourself already, then how can you ever translate it and give it to anybody else so they can perform at their best? That's the responsibility that you have to them as their employer, as the leader in that organization. And order, to be able to work in an orderly, calm, and relaxed way. Now, if you're not operating in an orderly, calm, relaxed way, that is going to filter down from the top. Your organization is not going to function in an orderly, calm, relaxed way. And we're not just talking about on the outside seeming like you've got it all together. It's what's going on the inside that really makes a difference. So how do you bring order to the way you operate? Well, you operate with a sharply defined mental image of the results that you want to create. You have a very clearly defined goal. It's very specific. You have a very clear self-image, a very clear picture of the culture of the organization, a self-image paradigm for that organization. You have a very clearly defined self-image paradigm for yourself. You help everyone in your business understand how to build a self-image paradigm that's in harmony with the role that they're taking up within the organization, that fits with the greater vision and goal of where the organization is going. You need to be able to provide that order. And like I said before, if you don't have this for yourself, how can you give it to anyone else? So it really does start and end with you. And if you keep growing, if you keep working on this and becoming more effective within your own self at understanding these different elements, at living these different elements, at applying these different elements into your own personal and business life, you're going to be such an effective leader, helping other people to do just the same so they can experience the good that you are experiencing. I love this little takeaway you can, and I want you to write this down. If you've got a pen and paper, write down what I'm going to share with you. The good that I desire for myself, I want for you also. You want to have that attitude as a leader within your company, within your community, within your circle of influence. What you want for yourself, that internal happiness, peace, financial freedom, time freedom, you want that for everyone you come in contact with. And if you commit to growing within yourself and continuing to develop that, you're going to become such an effective leader at helping everybody you come in contact with also create that in their life. So in times of change and growth, there are a few things that you must know. And I want you to write these down. I want you to get your pen and paper and I want you to write these down as we go through them. You must be able to adapt. This is so important. The world is changing at such a rapid pace. Just think about, we haven't even had our iPhones for that long and the difference that it has made to how we communicate. I can run my whole company through my iPhone just about. You've got to be able to adapt in times of change and growth. And if you are moving towards a place where you've never been before, drawing out the best from within yourself, the best from within your business, the best from within your clients, then you are going to need to know how to adapt through that growth, how to handle and thrive in that process of change. And you must be willing and able to adapt, to be able to respond to the new thoughts and ideas that your marvelous mind is giving you, even though at the moment you might think, how am I ever going to do that? We were just about to do this, right? This is about working from within. This is what I said earlier, balancing spirit and mechanism, knowing when to go, knowing when to stay, knowing when the decisions need to be made, and knowing when that decision isn't as important as the next thing that I have to make next. So you've got to be able to adapt. You must be able to build a new model. If you want to really leverage yourself through leadership, if you want to make a quantum leap, if you want to earn more, become more productive, really live your best life and enjoy the ride, the model that you're in at the moment is not going to take you to where you want to go. It's as simple as that. So you've got to be able to build a new model. Now, there's two parts to this. There's what happens on the inside, and then there's the outside of that. You can go out there and build a brand new model mechanically and get all the how-to in place and the tools and the systems and processes, but still be on the inside operating with the old model, the old beliefs, the old expectations, the old paradigms. So you have to be able to build the new model from within and then execute and live the new model on the outside. You must be able to change the way you take up your role. This is really important. At different stages in your business, you're going to have to take up your role in a new and different way. It's like you need to write a new role description for yourself. The functions of your role will change. The activities that you're presently doing in your role in order to leverage yourself and scale and grow and have the impact and influence on the world around you that you really desire to create, you're going to have to change the way you operate. You're going to have to work from a different role. You're going to have to change the thoughts and habits that go with your role, and that's not easy to do. On paper, it looks pretty easy. When it comes to executing it, you're a creature of habit. Your paradigms are going to be at play. Remember, you've spent a hell of a lot of time getting very good at being you. So the idea of building a new model of you, of thinking and operating in a new way, is going to cause a bit of discomfort, but it's necessary to understand that, be able to move through it, and do it in a really calm, relaxed, and orderly way. So you must be able to change the way you take up your role, and you must be able to help others do the same. This last point, number 4, really speaks to all of those first 3 points. You must be able to help others adapt. You must be able to help them understand what's going on spiritually, mentally, and physically through a change or transformation process. You must be able to help them build a new model for how they might need to change or adapt in taking up their role. You need to be able to help them understand the power of self-image and changing that self-image paradigm. And you must be able to help them change the way they take up their role and they execute the ideas and the actions required of them from that role. And again, if you can't do this effectively for yourself, then you won't be able to help others do it either. So when we think about leveraging, when we think about scaling, when we think about making a quantum leap and really changing the results, truly creating a permanent shift in those results, you need to start with you, and you need to go to that next level. You need to leverage up, leverage the way you operate, the way you think, your thoughts and feelings, your actions, and the experience that you have of doing that for you and rolling that out with the circle of influence that you have around you is going to make you a far more effective person and a far more effective leader at whatever it is that you do. And that will, I guarantee, impact the bottom line of your company. The reason that it will is the law of compensation. The law of compensation decrees that the amount of money you earn is in direct proportion to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. So everything that I've been speaking with you here today on is about improving your ability to do what you're presently doing. So the more effective you become at doing what you're presently doing, the more difficult you are to replace as a leader within that organization, as a leader within your industry, as a company within your industry. You become very difficult to replace. Therefore, your stock goes up. Therefore, you become worth more. Therefore, more money flows into the bottom line. Therefore, you end up with more cash in the bank. It's as simple as that. This is a really important part of change to understand. We've touched a little bit on the mind today, and we've spoken a little bit about paradigms. I could speak for hours and months on that. If you want to go deeper with that, you get into one of my coaching programs. This is really important to understand as well, that the brain aspect to change. Now, your brain can change. This is one of the beautiful things that we've discovered through the study of neuroscience, this concept of neuroplasticity and the brain's ability to change itself. And when we look at organizations and when we look at growth, when we look at scaling, we need to understand the brain impact of that on an organization and ultimately create brain-friendly businesses. Now, we've spoken a lot about the mind. The brain is not the mind. Let's separate this. The brain is an electronic switching station, extremely powerful in its own right, but the mind is the mind, and there's two main parts of the mind that we study and look at, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Whatever's going on in the mind will be expressed to and through the body, and it'll show up in results. And then we have this powerhouse of the brain, and your brain has the ability to change itself. And when you think about change or growth in an organization and you having to adapt to new thoughts and behaviors, then there is a lot of energy being expended in your brain to support you with that adaptation, with that shift. So if you have a bit of a look at this, you'll see there's two parts to the brain. You've got the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere, and the frontal cortex and the posterior cortex. The right-hand side of the brain is more to do with emotions and habits around supporting, coordinating, creative, innovative, going out there and meeting new people, and you know what I'm talking about. So that's more the right-hand side of the brain. The left-hand side of the brain is a little bit more analytical, logical, get things done, focusing, delivering. It's about following through. And we can live in different aspects of this. We're never ever living and operating just in one hemisphere. But what we do have is we have areas where we are more naturally wired. And so what we need to understand when we look at this, when we start to understand it, is there are key functions and responsibilities of different roles within your business, within your own role, of what you need to be doing in order to hit that big fantasy goal. And that might mean that you have to really start to operate in a new way. You have to really change the way you think about yourself, about the way you operate, how you take up your role, build a new self-image. And that could mean that you don't love being out there selling or talking to people, coming up with the new ideas. You'd rather be behind the scenes, getting it done. But it's a function of that role and you accomplishing your goal that you create that adaptation. And so you can make some decisions as you know and understand where your preferences are as to how much energy you are going to need to expend in order to adapt and take up that new function or that new habit within the role. And as you start to understand this and you start to see where yourself and where your employees' preferences are in terms of whether they're more of that analytical, logical mindset, whether they like to just get it done and they're very clear and direct, or whether they're more in the very, very effective at supporting and coordinating and nurturing, or the creative ideas, and they want to be out there talking to people, you can start to actually create brain-friendly organizations. And the other thing is you can start to make decisions around what activities you will do at different times of the day. When we look at the brain and when we look at the neuroplasticity side of it, we can change. So that's what I love about prison brain mapping, and that's what I love about neuroscience in terms of organizational awareness and HR, is that we're never boxing an individual. I'm never saying to you, well, you're this, because what we know is that you can change. We know that from a mind point of view, and we know it from a neuro point of view. But what we can now understand at a greater level is how big that shift is going to be and what kind of impact that's going to have on you mentally, physically, and spiritually, and we can manage it. And we can manage that energy expenditure. So for example, let me give you an example of this. If you're in business and you know you need to increase sales and you need to be on the phone contacting and calling people and really getting it done, but you know that that's not where you're as strong in terms of your brain mapping, then you can schedule those activities earlier on in your day while you're actually energized for the day, and you can get them done early. And then after you complete those activities, you could go for a walk. You could go and do a task that makes you feel good. Some of that creative planning, some of that website, some of that team planning and team discussions where you really love it and you're completely energized. And those little wirings, those little synapses in your brain are firing away and energizing you again and re-energizing you to be able to go back in and do the activities that de-energize you. So I want you to think about this in terms of energizing and de-energizing. And as you start to look at leveraging yourself through leadership, you've got to find this perfect balance between forming the new habits and the new paradigms and building the new neuro wiring that will support that, and balancing that with those activities that you're naturally really good at that energize you. And if you can imagine, if you can get this balance right, then across your whole business and organization, everything starts to change. The whole energy of the organization starts to change. And we know that thoughts are energy, but now you're starting to understand the next layer to this in terms of the brain mapping that goes with it. And as that energy is changing within yourself and within the organization, you're moving to a different state of consciousness, to a higher state of consciousness. And from that state, you can attract and be in harmony with new and different results. That's where we get back into the laws of the universe, the law of vibration and the law of attraction. So it's really about understanding, if you want to leverage yourself and you want to really scale and get better results, it's about going deeper with this, and it's understanding these extra layers in terms of why people are the way they are, how to build brain-friendly organizations, how to work from role, how to adapt yourself and your team in an organization that's growing and moving towards those really big goals, those dreams that you have visioned, that you have committed to, and being able to really bring everyone along on that ride with you, so everyone gets to live their best life and everyone gets to enjoy the ride. Isn't that a great thing to be able to do? It's so special. So I've got some questions for you to think about here. You might like to write these questions down as I go through them and really take some time to answer them. So I want you to think about your goal now. I want you to think about what it is that you really want. And ask yourself, what does your new leadership paradigm look like? Imagine that you're already accomplishing this goal, that it's already done, that what you really want is here. What qualities must you possess? When you think about your own self-leadership, when you think about leading your organization to these greater accomplishments, scaling your business, really improving your level of performance in your organization or in the career that you're in at the moment, what qualities must you possess? What habits do you need to develop and maintain? I love that question. I want to go deeper with that. It's so important. You know, habits form futures, but thoughts form habits. So we can focus on habits, but if we're not at the same time focusing on what's going on the inside around the thoughts and the picture and the focus of where we need to be, then the habits or the habitual change won't be permanent. But you must identify what are some of those critical habits. If I'm now taking up my role in a way that really serves the purpose of this organization, that serves the function of what I'm here to do in terms of my goal, then what habits do I need to develop and maintain? Now remember that there's the inner work on that, the creative mechanism is on the inside, and then there's the outer work. So we have to balance both at all times. What self-image do you need? What sort of self-image do you need? What beliefs do you need to have? Who are you going to follow? This is so important. If you want to be a super effective follower, a super effective leader, you want to be a super effective follower. They go hand in hand. When you become a great follower, you'll understand what it was about that person you were following that really made you want to be there and follow them, and you'll develop that into your own leadership style, into your own leadership qualities. And who's in your own inner circle? You want to think about this. In one of my coaching programs, I talk about this all the time. Who is in your inner circle? Who are those main people that you're going to closely associate yourself with, who can grow you, serve you, and help you accomplish what it is that you really want? Those people that have got your back. Who is in your inner circle? Are they where you want to be? Can they support you to getting you to where you want to go? As you write down these questions, really take time to think about your answers to them and act on the answers to them. Your limitations right now exist in your own mind. If you flip logic on its head, really think about what you want and really get into the spirit of what that new picture of leadership looks like for you, then make a decision to act on it. And here's how I can help. We at Karen Brook, not just me, my whole team, we find inspiration in the greatest challenges, the creation of entirely new programs and experiences, and the inclusion of tools and coaching unmatched the world over. We look for the better way, the efficient way, the unconventional way. You see, we've never been ones to settle for the status quo, ever. And we're looking for those who share a similar mindset and are willing to act on it. I'm going to say that again, because you can share the same mindset but never do anything about it. We're looking for people who share a similar mindset and who are willing to act upon it. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, he said the greatest leaders, they make decisions quickly and they change them slowly, if and when they change them at all. The losers, the failures in life go backwards and forwards, and that is a decision in itself. It's a decision to procrastinate and it's a decision to fail. So we're looking for those who share a similar mindset, who are not interested in the status quo, who are looking for the better way, the more efficient way, the more effective way, and are willing to act on it. We truly believe that for those who do, doing the impossible is just the beginning. In the next 12 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 2 years, you could accomplish more than you have in the last decade. Permit yourself to think like that and make decisions to back it and back yourself into the goals and the things that you really want. So here's what you need to do next. You need to make a decision to live your best life. It starts with decision. That's not something I can do for you. It's not something your partner or your boss or your employees or anybody else can do for you. That is a quiet decision that you make within, where you commit to bringing about the very best that you've got for your own life and for the people that you come in contact with. The truth is, the more you have, the more you can benefit other people. And I'm not just talking about money, but I tell you what, having an abundance of money makes a big difference to the good that you can do to help other people. Make a decision to be an exceptional leader in your field and commit to become more effective at it. There is no end to the good that you can do. There's no end to how effective you can become at doing what you're doing. Commit to a mindset of growth. Commit to being the most effective leader, the most effective valuable human being you can possibly be. And there's no end to that, because there's an infinite level of states of consciousness that you can take up residency in. Make a decision and join my premium coaching program that I've designed just for people like yourself. Surround yourself in a community of people just like yourself who are growing and moving to the next level. Join me for 6 months in this coaching program and everything will change for you. We will meet every single week and I will work with you so closely in this group coaching program that you'll astound yourself with what you can create. We're going to go so deep into the material that I've covered here today. You're going to be studying literature and text and programs that'll blow your mind at how you can take and apply it and really move into action with it in your business, in your leadership, and in the next level that you're deciding to move to. In addition to joining my premium coaching program, for those people who are willing to act on it and act now before the end of this month, for 10 people, I'm going to give you my Diamond Mastermind program, which is an added value of $3,000. And that's an additional mastermind call with me every month and other elite thinkers to really mastermind on your goals, to really work with each other and share resources. This is where you collapse time. We're going to bring experts in. I'm going to get people to work with you, and you're going to have all of that added value, no additional cost when you make a decision and you start my premium coaching with me. Before the end of the month, you sign up and enroll, and we're going to get started together in September. If you've got a question, then schedule a discovery call. Don't just sit there and try and figure it out yourself or wonder, is this for me, isn't for me? If you already know, you know. You can click the link in the chat and you can go ahead and you can enroll yourself straight into the premium coaching program. If you've got a question, if you're not 100% sure where you're at or if this is really for you or if you're ready for it yet, then book a discovery call and I'll chat to you and I'll help you figure that out. The worst thing that you can do is nothing. You come to these calls all the time and you don't act on the information that you're receiving. You feel motivated and inspired for a day or two and then nothing changes. The paradigm kicks in, the logical way of operating, you go back to those natural preferences in terms of your neurowiring and nothing changes. Don't let that happen to you. Make a decision. And if the decision is to join the premium coaching program, then go and get yourself enrolled today. If the decision is to get on a call with me and ask a few questions and go deeper with your call, then book that discovery call. But the worst thing that you can do is nothing. Allow me to talk you through a plan to your goal. I've been at this a long time now, and I've been working extremely closely with Bob Proctor for a long time now. But before that, I spent 12, 13 years running my own company. I've seen a lot of different people go through a lot of different transformations and accomplish some extraordinary results in my 16 years of working for myself. And I guarantee there is no goal, there is no situation that you are presently in that I have not seen or helped someone work through. And I guarantee I can help you too. But you got to make that decision and you got to be willing to act on it, and you've got to invest in yourself to go to that next level. And then let's execute your plan together. It's as simple as that. Just follow the steps through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully you'll get to number 3 and you don't even have to move to the next 4, the next 3 steps there. You just make a decision and get yourself involved. So let's wrap up this with this. This is what we talk about when we really talk about learning and experiential learning. There is a huge gap between what you know and what you actually do. Now, when you were at school, learning was considered, I'm going to teach you a lot of information. I'm going to test you on that information. If you can remember the information and recite it back to me, then I'm going to give you a great grade, and I'm going to assume that you've now learnt the information. Don't you agree? This is how the school system is designed. The problem is the world does not reward what you know. The world rewards what you get done. That's what true learning is really about. How to consciously entertain an idea, how to emotionalize the idea, how to act on the idea, and then observe a change in your results. That's true learning. That's what my coaching is about. That's what you've been exposed to here on today's call. This is what true learning really is. This is what the coaching is really about. This is what the premium coaching program is really about, is you taking an idea of what it is that you really want, of learning how to emotionalize the idea, of learning and studying what you need to do to emotionalize that idea and actually doing it, right? You move into action from day one. You act on the idea. Now you have to act on the idea, but you've also got to understand how to get everybody else around you to act on the idea, especially if you want to leverage yourself through leadership. And I'm guessing you wouldn't be here today if that wasn't your goal. And then you observe a change in your results. And as you observe that change in results, it sends a feedback mechanism to your subconscious mind when you're focused on that goal to say, hey, like that worked. Let's do more of that. And you learn something about yourself. And you've learned through the experience of doing. That's the difference. When you get into this and you study with me in this way and you work in this way with this high level material and you're in action with it and you've got that accountability and support to be in action with it every day, you get that feedback mechanism from a change in results, or sometimes it doesn't work. And you learn from that, and you learn from the things that did work. And that's true learning. That's living and breathing this. That's becoming a truly effective leader who can leverage themselves, because you can help everybody around you understand it too. Don't go to the grave with the music still in you. Let it out, and let the good knowledge and the wisdom that you have acquired be reflected for the rest of the world to see through the results you create. And results don't lie. And right now, you are capable of better results. So you want to consciously entertain an idea, emotionalize the idea, act on the idea, and observe a change in results. So I want to thank you for joining me on today's call. I want to encourage you to take this opportunity so seriously to invest and join me in my premium coaching program. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, and 10 of you are going to create the most magnificent results over the next 6 months, and you're going to get that bonus Diamond Mastermind program where you will develop relationships with colleagues that you'll have for the rest of your life. So make a committed decision. Click the link in the chat box there, go to the leadership links page, click on the link and enroll yourself in the premium coaching program today. If you want to sit down and have a conversation, if you're 90% sure that's where you want to go, then book a discovery call. If you've got a few questions, book a discovery call. Let's sit down and have a conversation about where you're at, about where you want to be, and how this opportunity can really help you get there. I hope it's a stretch for you. I want you to stretch. I really want you to push yourself far beyond any level that you've ever been before. And I guarantee that with this in your back pocket, it's going to happen for you. So have the most beautiful day. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for investing in you. I am grateful for you. You are doing such a great job, but know that you are capable of far more than you've ever dreamt possible. And I want you to move into action with that. I believe in you. I know that you can do it. And you've got the opportunity here to live it. So go and do it. Have a great day. Bye for now.